A man is standing in his kitchen at 11 p.m., phone gripped in one hand, jaw tight, waiting for a 6-digit code that just will not arrive. It is his own bank account, his own money, and a little wall of text is calmly telling him to prove that he is himself. In that moment, the wall feels like the enemy. But here is the flip that nobody thinks about while they are angry at the screen. That exact same annoying wall is the only reason a stranger in another country is not reading his messages, draining his account, and locking him out for good tonight. So let us follow one single login attempt, all the way through, and watch the split-second interrogation that happens behind the glass every time you press enter. Every day, billions of people type a password into a box and hit that button. The average person now juggles logins for around 100 online accounts, and every one of them is a door with a piece of your life sitting behind it. If any site could be fooled by anyone who simply typed your email address, the whole internet would collapse inside a week. So the stakes are enormous, and the challenge is genuinely strange. A website has to be totally certain that it is you, while somehow never actually storing or even seeing the secret you typed in. Get that balance even slightly wrong, and a single leaked database can expose millions of people in one afternoon. This is not a rare edge case either. Huge, trusted companies get breached constantly, and the only thing standing between a breach and total disaster is how carefully they handled your login. And it gets harder, because the site also has to survive attackers who try thousands of passwords per second, people reusing the same password across dozens of sites, and convincing fake login pages built purely to trick you into typing your secret straight into a stranger's hands. Here is the one idea the entire video hangs on, so hold on to it. A login is not a website comparing your password against a saved copy of your password. It is a website comparing a fingerprint of your password against a stored fingerprint, without ever keeping the real thing anywhere. Think of it like a lock that does not contain a copy of your key. It only contains a mold that your key happens to fit. The lock can confirm your key drops perfectly into that mold, but it can never hand your key to a thief, because it never held your key in the first place. That single trick is the reason a giant company can get completely hacked and still not directly hand attackers the actual password you chose. The secret was never in the building to steal. And once you truly get this one idea, almost every headline about a password leak suddenly makes a lot more sense, because you can instantly tell the difference between a company that protected you and one that got lazy. You type your password and hit enter, and your device wraps it inside an encrypted HTTPS tunnel, so nobody sitting on the same coffee shop Wi-Fi between you and the server can read it as it flies past. The server, crucially, never saves your raw password to disk. Instead, it runs what you typed through a one-way hashing function, like bcrypt, which scrambles it into a long fixed-length string that cannot be mathematically reversed back into your password. Before it hashes, the server mixes in a unique random value called a salt, so that even two people who both chose the exact same password end up with totally different stored fingerprints, which quietly destroys an attacker's ability to crack millions of accounts in one batch. Now, to actually log you in, the server takes the password you just typed, salts and hashes it in the exact same way, and simply compares the two fingerprints side by side. If they match, it accepts that you are you. If they do not, the door stays shut, and it does not even tell the attacker which half was wrong. But a password alone can be stolen, guessed, or reused from some other site's leak. So many services now demand a second, independent proof, a factor you have rather than just a factor you know. This is the moment your phone buzzes with a one-time code that changes every 30 seconds. Here is the beautiful part. The code is not sent to you by the website at all. When you first set it up, your phone and the server quietly agreed on a shared secret seed, and from then on both of them independently compute the same 6 digits from the current time, so the matching numbers never actually travel across the network where someone could grab them. There is also a rate limit watching in the background, so after a handful of wrong guesses the server slows down or locks the attempt entirely, which turns a fast automated brute force attack into something that would take longer than a human lifetime. Only when every proof lines up does the server hand your browser a temporary session token, a kind of wristband that says you are cleared, so you are not forced to reprove yourself on every single click for the next hour. Picture the 2012 LinkedIn breach, where attackers walked away with around 6.5 million password fingerprints. On a properly built site, those stolen fingerprints would be almost useless, because reversing a salted bcrypt hash for even 100 accounts, let alone millions, is like being handed a shredded document and calmly told to unshred it back into the original page. But LinkedIn had hashed those passwords weekly and used no salt at all, so crackers reversed enormous numbers of them frighteningly fast. And because so many people reuse one password everywhere, that single leak unlocked accounts far beyond LinkedIn. That one lazy shortcut is the entire difference between a shrug and a catastrophe. And it is exactly why that phone buzz second factor is worth the 11 p.m. frustration. Even if a thief somehow has both your fingerprint and your typed password, they still do not have the physical phone in your pocket generating this precise minute's code, so the door still will not open. That is the quiet genius of it. The password proves something you know, the phone proves something you have, and an attacker almost never manages to steal both at the exact same time. A login is a trust dance where a site proves you are you without ever holding your actual secret. Your password becomes a one-way fingerprint. Your phone adds a proof only you physically hold, and that annoying wall you curse at is quietly the hero of the whole story. Subscribe to Tech with Joel for the wild but true machinery hiding inside the everyday tech you use without a second thought. Quick one for the comments. What is the single account you would be most terrified to lose? And does it have two-factor turned on right now? Next long form, we trace what actually happens in the split second after you tap a sign in with Google button and why you are secretly handing over far less of yourself than you think. Subscribe to Tech with Joel.